Greetings, everyone. I just did my makeup and it looks a little messy. My lip stain is really showing off the dry spots on my lips. I just tried these rollers, but I didn't leave them in long enough, so my hair is just like wet and straggly. Um, but today's video, we're going to talk about my recent ADHD diagnosis, what I do to manage this stuff, the fact that I was put into gifted when I was a young kid, and what I do to manage this giftedness. Um, Basically, when I was in first or second grade, I was put into the gifted program. I thought I was special. My parents made sure that I knew that I wasn't special, because I'm sure they saw what this kind of treatment, this special education, being pulled away from the rest of the group. I'm sure they saw that it was going to affect me somehow, some way as an adult, and it totally fucking has. So I'm basically going to talk about that. When I was 16, like some of you guys probably know, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. The truth is, though, bipolar was just like a really hot diagnosis back then. That had to be like 2015 ish or so. And I was on all sorts of medications, like a mood disorder medications, um, and they never really worked. But if any of you have been following me, or if you're new here, just so you know, I was like a heavy drug user for a long time. Um, and now that I've been not that, now that I've been totally like not on drugs, um, for years, I have recently got re-diagnosed with ADHD. And my news, I'm wary of that because just like bipolar disorder was the big hot diagnosis when I was growing up, I think ADHD and autism is like the hot new everyone has it diagnosis of today. So I'm super open to any whatever. The point is, I went back to a psychiatrist after not being on mental health medications or antidepressants or anything for years. I thought that it was probably just my like drug use or just the pains of growing up that made me quote unquote like crazy. Um, and then like a couple years ago, I had a few incidents happen and I went back on, I saw a new psychiatrist. She's wonderful. She's a woman. And she told me that based on my life circumstances when I was diagnosed bipolar, um, it is hard to say that that was accurate. Um, and that a lot of this stuff, I'm sure you guys know, ADHD has a load of asshole side effects that just make you kind of unlikable and problematic in society, in many ways. So for me, that could have contributed to like my drug use, my craziness, my inability to show up on time, which I thought was just like a regular, like fashionably late thing. Now, tell me, I thought I was fashionably late my whole life. I thought it was fine, normal. I could never understand why, no matter how much effort I put into time management and the schedule, that I always felt like I was in a rush. Like I always felt like I was late. Um, Time would just get away from me. It has this morning. That's why my makeup looks like this. So I want to talk about a little bit of what my life has been like. Totally sober. I take a non-stimulant ADHD medication just because I didn't want to take the chance um, on taking Adderall or Vyvanse or anything like that. No hate to people who do. I just was worried that it was going to take me a little farther than I wanted to go. But I've been on a pretty high dose of a non-stimulant ADHD medication called atmoxetine, also known as Strattera, the name brand. for about a year now, and it's worked out better, but I definitely notice a difference in my time management skills. I'm noticing where I'm underdeveloped compared to other people. And in that way, I'm learning new skills that I probably could have or should have or would have learned growing up. By this point, I'm 28. I feel that other people may have learned time management skills better, may have learned impulse control better, may have developed those skills. So now that I'm trying to get my shit together, trying to get my life together, and all that, and it pretty much is, there are still a few things, and the main one is being late all the time. Now this caused so many problems growing up, and in years past, even like as a grown up, even now especially, it still causes me problems. It creates like a lot of like shame, but also, is it shame or is it guilt? Because I say that because, am I just feeling guilty because I did something wrong and that's normal and healthy, or am I feeling shame because I feel completely powerless over my ability to show up on time, and get everything done that I need to get done in a day? Hmm. Um, so I'm learning now. I didn't realize how much an ADHD diagnosis would help me, not just because like I get my medication or whatever, but it also gives me the opportunity to see where I am different and feel like I just need to use different tools instead of trying to fix myself into what other people do, if that makes sense. Like, I can't take normal people advice because I don't handle it the same way. And that is like a futile attempt to function properly when my brain just works differently. Okay. And that is not an excuse for my shitty behavior, for showing up late, or for interrupting people in conversation, for losing time, for getting into impulsive confrontations. These are just kind of the side effects that I think are related to ADHD. If you don't relate to them, then I don't care. This is just my experience. Um, Recently, though, I've been trying to grow those parts of me that I need to function as an adult. Every job I've ever had, I've showed up late, and that caused a lot of stress for me internally, and I'm sure for them, obviously. In my friendships, showing up late to brunch, showing up late for anything, that causes a lot of social rifts. Showing up late to class, so stressful because, there's just a million things. Showing up late for doctor's appointments, I was late to a therapy appointment. They canceled me. I was like 10 minutes late or something, 15. And I just almost started like crashing out crying because I was so sure that I had made enough time to, like, more than enough time to show up on time. So that's like a lot of the stuff that really affects my quality of life, and just like wrecks an already vulnerable self esteem. Um, So I have no solutions yet. I'm just telling you this because I feel like other people might be able to relate to maybe getting a late diagnosis of ADHD and finally looking back and being like, oh, that fits all the puzzle pieces together correctly now. Um, yeah, so other challenges that come up are my emotions are very strong and very short lived. So sometimes I feel a little bit impulsive in the way that I express my emotions, and that causes all sorts of rifts in my friendships, in my relationships at work, in my relationships in my romantic relationship. Um, this is not like a pros and cons list video. I just wanted to share with you guys that I'm fucking realizing like how much it's valuable to show up on time, to know that you can trust yourself to get what you need done, to show up for the things you need to do to meet your goals or aspirations. Um, and not in like a conformist kind of like, oh, I want to be like everybody else way. No, it's just like I want to do what I want to do and believe I'm going to do it at the time I say I'm going to do it at. Um, Recently, I was on Reddit and I was looking at these subreddit questions about how people deal with the rude friend or the rude whoever that is always wasting their time, has no respect for other people's time. It's because I saw a YouTube video, like a short, that it was a girl like doing her makeup and she was like, me at 5:30 or 6 p.m. getting ready to meet you at 8 p.m. because I show up on time and I don't steal other people's time. And I'm not gonna lie, that triggered me because I don't know if I felt like it was, I hate the word ableist, but in a way it did feel like whatever that word means. Um to me, and if you're not a chronically late person, you're watching this and you're like hella triggered by the what I'm talking about, and you think it's all about me, not your friend that's late, not respecting your time, and that they don't value your time, and that they're self-centered or whatever. It's possible. It's possible, and I'm sure it looks that way, but it really isn't about you. I'm not saying that because it's about me or it's about your late friend and like you should feel bad for your late friend. It's just that's just life. Um, as much as I am working on this, and it's a big self development goal of mine to be better at time management and to show up on time and to have that kind of self esteem or self respect or self trust, you know, to be able to do those things consistently, it has nothing to do with respect, in my opinion. That may be like a byproduct of the situation. But as somebody who is chronically late, no matter how much I plan my day, I'm not somebody that just like wakes up and is like, well, whatever, you know. I hope other people with ADHD or other chronically late people can relate to that. Like, I am trying really hard and I do the best I can. And if that is not good enough for you, then don't be friends with me. Then fire me. Then like that's fine. Like, I really can't do any better in the moment than I have. You know? Um I just want to put a PSA out there. Your chronically late friends love and care about you a lot. They know that they're late and they feel bad about it. I'm so serious. Um I had a friend that just, when a date is late, and I've been like late on first dates before, and some people can't handle it, and some people, you can tell who the people are that have been burned by a late person before already get triggered because they have like, they feel like they have to protect their value of their time so much, that they just get super resentful at you or the situation. And I think that's okay. I think everyone has the right to cut people off that are late just for that reason. I also feel like it is not personal. It is not personal. It is so not fucking personal to you. It's not personal because I'm a loser or because your friend's a loser or because they think that your time isn't valuable. It's not that at all. It's not personal. It's just some people live on a different fucking timeline. Let's live on a different schedule, do functional life things in a different way. Now, I still have to live, and all of us chronically late people, we still have to live in society, almost unfortunately. But in order for me to get the specific goals that I want, and like in school and in work and in my relationships, there needs to be like a bit of a skill change. I think that being gifted growing up and being naturally really good at some things has made me feel like I would never have to develop the other skills that most people develop, like being on time, like speaking respectfully and formally, and all that stuff. I've always thought I could get away, and I have, for the most part, gotten away with not developing those skills. And oh, my parents tried. My parents are like early people, early bird people. Most of my friends are, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't judge my friends that are late or cancel last minute. I just don't really care. Because I get it. I totally get it. And I don't want to hang out with you if you're feeling guilty about what time you showed up. I just don't. Like, that's not my business. Like, we're good. I like, that's just life. Like, life is flexible, life is changeable. There's always going to be things that are not totally in your control like happening, and I think people that have serious like control type A personalities, they just can't fucking handle it. They just cannot handle that friend that's chronically late. They just can't handle, bumps in the road. They can't handle when things don't go their way in the day to day, and I think that's fucking sad. um because it just is not sustainable. Now, being chronically late, it sustained me so far. It's made me make sure that I'm really good at the stuff that I'm really good at. Like my performance, my ability to manage multiple tasks at the same time, my ability to quickly read and to quickly understand and apply concepts at work or at school. Those things, my brain, I think those are the pros, Um, I care deeply about people. I have less of a filter, so I can express my feelings and my care and my opinions a lot more frankly, I think. Um, but there are things about me that are not likable. Um, and that's so fucking okay. um, so that's basically the whole story. I just want to talk about, that's where I'm at in my journey. Now I'm trying to develop those skills that other people learned. How to look put together. Like, I just feel like this is a mess right now. Because I was trying to get on time to make this video. I feel like there are just so many things that I thought were just personality traits that really are just a manifestation of a different way that my brain works. And I've come to accept that I'm never going to be like that type A looking person. No matter how hard I try, it's just not going to happen. And the things that are within my control is I have to find ways to make life work for me. I have to find ways that are particular to me, that are sustainable, to show up reasonably on time, to gain that self trust that I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do at the time I'm going to do it. And I have to have this big capacity of radical acceptance that I'm going to fall short more often than not, probably. That in a lot of ways, in these skills, I'm going to be subpar or mediocre to most people. And that's okay, because I have a host of other great attributes that come from the way that my brain works. Um, I don't think ADHD is a disability. I see people that talk about it like it's a disability. I know there's varying levels of neurodivergence or whatever, but I think it's just a very different way of seeing the world, interacting with the world, and you have to find a way to make it work for you. It is not a disability because I'm still able to do things and able to do certain things maybe at a higher performance level than other people. Now, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, or our more developed parts of ourselves and less developed parts of ourselves. And I think that's totally normal and fine. It's not like a disease. ADHD doesn't feel like a disease to me. It just feels like a journey or a path or a walk that you that I have to find on my own. And the path that I take with with same with probably other neurodivergent people in this world isn't going to be the path most taken, because that path gets us lost. So we just gotta have to find our own path. And I think that's fun and that's cool, and I'm happy to have gotten an explanation so that I know what to work with and I know what tools I can try. And it just gives me another level of self development and self like love and self acceptance that I didn't have before. Like, it used to be so hard to look in the mirror and just see where I've fallen short in those really mundane ways. Like, my handwriting is never consistent. Sometimes it's really sloppy. Sometimes I have like schmutz all over me from having dogs and cats and just like living a fast lifestyle and like being kind of a messy person. When I say like messy, I'm not like fucking gross. I'm moving fast, you know? My house is always clean. I'm big on hygiene. I'm not like a gross person, but it's never going to be that type A perfect. You know, when you go to a friend's house and it looks like no one lives there, like that level of control over an environment, it's not interesting to me. But I have compared myself to those people before, and been like, why am I not like that? Oh, because I have other things that I prioritize, that my brain naturally prioritizes over that. Um, so let me know if you are triggered by your chronically late friend. No, it's not personal. It is not personal. It's just not. And that's my whole thing today. So have a great day. Let me just show you what I'm looking at right now. No.